Well, nestled in Minnesota's Northwoods, just south of the Canadian border, about 4 hours north of the Twin Cities, lies our state's lone national park. Voyageurs National Park was established in the 70s, but has a long history where Native Americans, fur traders, homesteaders, loggers, miners, and commercial fisheries thrived. We check in with a park ranger to see how you can enjoy the park this summer and why you'll want to plan ahead. It's a natural mosaic where the forests meet the water.
It's just a really unique place. You know, it's one of those parks that is unlike any other national park. It's very water-based. It's set in kind of a unique location, being the boreal forest up here in northern Minnesota, right on the border with Canada.
Eric Ditzler is a supervisory park ranger at Voyageurs. He says the park, which is nearly 40% water, draws visitors from all over the world.
But then in the summer, lots of fishing opportunities. Houseboating is really popular. All of our campsites are kind of unique in that they may be on their own island, you know, so it's not a campground, like a big loop of campsites right next to each other. You're really spread out throughout the park and on your own.
Ditzler says campsites book up early, but they aren't the only option if you want to visit.
So you could drive up for the day. You could stay in one of the local resorts or a hotel in town. Find an RV spot outside of the park.
We know Minnesotans in particular like to eye their favorite campsites this time of year, and it sounds like there's a sign-up opportunity coming up for some of those guided boat tours. So
on April 15th, all of our guided boat tours that are led by a park ranger go on sale on recreation.gov. They don't go quite as fast as the campsites do. So if you wanted a campsite for Memorial Day weekend, you may have had to reserve that back in November, but our boat tours are usually available throughout the summer. If there's a particular date that you want, we would highly recommend that you reserve that before you drive up here, because they do sell out.
Boat tours range from $40 to $85 with discounts for seniors with the Golden Access Pass and for children. You can book online or at the visitor desk.
There's a real wide variety of tours. We do tours to Kettle Falls, which is the historic hotel in the park. We do kind of shorter tours throughout Rainy Lake and Capitogama and Namakan lakes. We take tours to the Ellsworth Rock Gardens. And we're even going to do a kind of a one-time only tour to the Anderson Bay hiking trails, which is a really beautiful part of the park that's a little bit more difficult to get to for most people, especially if you don't have your own boat. So we're going to take a tour there in September to allow people to hike those trails that aren't widely used throughout the summer.
There's also a chance to experience the park the way the Voyageurs did.
So we have what's called the North Canoe Tour. So the Voyageurs, you know, those fur trappers and traders that were here in the 18th and 19th centuries, went around on the water on these big, long, 26-foot long birch bark canoes. And we have some reproduction North canoes that we take visitors out in on a short little trip to experience how to paddle with, you know, 6 or 8 other people in the canoe.
Ditzler says visits to the park are up since 2020. After a few years of tough weather conditions, they're hoping for a quiet summer.
We certainly hope that we're going to have a normal summer without any floods or droughts or wildfires.
His advice for visitors, whether it's your first or 5th time:
call a ranger, you know, call one of the visitor centers when we're open, or leave a voicemail on the phone and we'll return your call. We love to talk to people and help them plan their trip, give them advice on what to see, where they can go, ask them what kind of things they enjoy doing and help them accomplish that. So don't be shy, you know, reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to give you advice and help you plan your trip.
And I thought that was cool advice, that they were like, please call us. He said, leave a voicemail, we will call you back, and we love giving you our ideas and sharing our favorite spots in the park.
Of course, they're excited to talk about such a beautiful place. After I saw those images, I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard of the BWCA as a place to go visit,
Absolutely,
but
you're
seeing
close there.
Voyageurs, it's just a different element of the Northwoods I wasn't aware of.
You've never been. You've never been.
Oh, no.
I've never
been.
That
last shot was gorgeous, seeing the night sky like that, getting out into the woods, not having that light pollution.
Yes. They do have, you know, like a dark sky certification up there, and there's some nighttime boat tours, which is kind of cool. Like maybe you can see, you know, the northern lights if you're lucky. I should note that it is free year-round to get into the park, so that is a bonus. And there are hikes and things that are accessible without boat. I said it's 40% water, but there are other things to do. And the visitor center is closed right now. April is kind of their lull in the season, but otherwise they're open year round. And the tours do run rain or shine. He said if there's a little wildfire smoke in the air, we know that could happen. We still run the tours, and if for some reason they had to cancel, you'd get a refund on that.
But be prepared to rough it a bit.
Be
if it's
prepared to
raining.
rough it. I mean, it is a national park, and
Sure.
visitors from all over the world. We have this right in our backyard. So wanted to help you plan. Again, those tours open a week from today on the website. So do a little planning ahead of time, and it's a great opportunity.